I forgot I updated my computer, and I come in here and try to go ahead and say words, and it's like, nah, I can't say words because the properties weren't right. So when I wanted to time that just right there, right then, you know, it didn't work right. But anywho, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We can go ahead and probably cut out this ESPN Speed World music. We probably can close out those tabs if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to. It's the Iron Thunder Racing Network, back with the Iron Thunder Racing League Truck Series season number 7. We're on to the penultimate race of the whole entire season. Race number 11 from Talladega for the Talladega 212. Yeah, we get to see some racing tonight, folks. And first off, I hope you guys have a great start to your Thanksgiving week. Yes, Thanksgiving is this Thursday. So first off, I want to say I hope your week got started off right. We'll go with that. They're currently qualifying. They're getting things done here. They're putting up laps with about 30 seconds left in qualifying. And most drivers have put up a lap. And let's just say the current pole sitter is not a surprise. I'm not surprised by that current pole sitter. But we probably should go ahead and get your track facts in. Like I said, we're at Talladega Superspeedway here in Lincoln, Alabama. The track opened up in 1969, and when this track did open up, it opened up with a bunch of controversy, a lot of tire issues and whatnot. I do believe they had to let ASA, they had to let a bunch of lower series into race because a bunch of guys backed out saying that they didn't want to do it. Now, the track length, this is my favorite, is 2.66 miles. And this is a 2.66 mile super speedway. It's a 212.8 mile race. This is 80 laps tonight, with a stage caution on lap number 40. The weather for tonight, it's taking place today, November 20th. This is about almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Air temp 78, track temps 84. It's partly cloudy with zero humidity and a wind out of the north at 1 mile per hour. Last week, it was Storm Patterson who got the win at the Roval, and he kind of extended his points lead. As I said, I'm not 100% sure if this information is 100% correct, but he has, I think, a 12, maybe a 13 point gap right now over the number 25 machine at Brand Closers. Now, it's starting to get a real shady situation here for guys who are saying about, 56, 53. I'm starting to say if you're about 50 points back, so about 7th on back, you're starting to get into a situation where you need to essentially come out here and win everything. You need to come out here and win the race, win the pole, do everything you can tonight to give yourself a fair shot at being in championship contention next week. But without further ado, I think we can go ahead and put your starting lineup on the screen, as your tonight's pole sitter is now on their side of your screen. It's not really a surprise anymore. Is the 03 machine. I'm sorry about that. Of Kevin Hash. Kevin Hash is in his own machine this week. He's going to be on your pole tonight with a 56.967. That's the lap he put down. That's a subtraction total for the guys who did not put up a lap. So he is your provisional pole sitter tonight. On his outside, who's currently not on the track, he likes to take his time when it comes to getting on the track at Super Speedway. Sometimes likes to start from pit road. Happens to be number 87 machine of Ray Rittenauer. Again, he's not on the racetrack, so... Oh, there he is. There he is in the Lucky Dogs Doggy Daycare VRS turn Silverado. And number 2, we'll see in the number 26, the Coastal Logger machine of Manny Gregory. And on his outside, Chase Contender. Our first Chase Contender, actually, on the starting lineup tonight in Sawyer Ott. In row number 3, we'll see the 46 machine of Chris Galen, our second Chase Contender of the night, Dave Matson, the 09. In row 4, we'll see Brandon Pamitat and Brian Mills. In row number 5, we'll see Brandon Klusterhoos and Calvin Mosier. And row number 6, we'll see Matthew Klusterhoos and Storm Patterson, our points leader, coming into tonight. Row 7 will be Trestinot and Adam Boyles. I don't know if that's right. I'm not going to say that's wrong. I'm also not going to say it's right, because there's a chance that could be a mess up on my training pace. But we enter onto row number 8 with George Balfanis Jr. and Paul Smith. Row 9, we'll see Paul Majivka and our first qualifier to not qualify tonight in Josh Cully. Matt Quick now in the starting lineup, and Matt Cherry will be in row 10. Dylan Hale and Brian Wertman are technically your last qualifiers on the field tonight. So, that is our starting lineup for tonight. 21 trucks strong. Is we're start this penultimate event. And this is a very interesting one. This is the wild card of the chase. Anyone can come out here and win. If you remember going back to 2006 at Talladega in the chase, Brian Vickers won that race. So there's 12. Actually, I think there's only 11. Might be even 10. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't count. But there's a group of guys out here who are trying to go out here and win this race, put themselves in a great position for Homestead next week. And there's just a bunch of guys out here who just see a win in front of them and want to do whatever they can and get that one. Okay, it's 80 laps tonight. Probably spend most of your day listening to Talladega by Eric Church. You're just like me. And let's get racing here. And we have to get this mention out of the way. It wouldn't be a Talladega broadcast without mentioning the start-finish line. It's not right here in the middle of the tri-oval. It's not right here either. As I approach the Geico restart zone, as the green flag is out, and we are racing here tonight from Talladega. It's right there. Through about the first half a lap of the race tonight, you can see things looked pretty calm until we getting ready to go into number 3. It's 3 wide here as 43 truck gets hung out to dry here. As he's going to get past, he's actually going to hop right in front of the number 22 machine. That impact brand number 22 machine. He's going to fall right back in line, but we're going to have a battle for the lead. It's going to be our third lead change on lap number 1. And to actually get the first official lap lead tonight, it's going to be that number 35 Ole Miss machine of Sayrat. Now it's going to be side by side here. So it seems like this outside lane is going to continue to do this little bit of a jump situation here, get a little bit of an advantage here. As now it was 09 out from the outside lane here, but it looks like his run's going to just stop for a split second there. As good as we saw for that 35 to take over the race late here. But they're going to be almost even here in the second row. Going to be about in the quarter panel here. As it's 2x2 for most of the field. Your first 3 wide battle again, it's going to be that 43 machine of Kelvin Mosier, who's back in that machine this week. After taking a week off for prior commitments, he's back out there, and he's now going to fall right back in line here behind the number 33 machine. So, Dave Matson's going to get a little bit of advantage here off of turn number 4. But when you come to the line to complete lap number 2, I think it might be. I think Dave Matson got credit for leading that one, as he got a heck of a push here from this 13 machine. Brian Mills, but that inside line's going to prevail again as we have trouble. Oh, around goes the 09, and that's almost going to be the whole field. The 45 trucks around, and I think that's just, I think it's just a bad push. It was just a bad push on that one. Let's watch this replay. Let's just see. Oh yeah, it's just a bad push. It's not a square push. It's not a square push. You can see the 09 does wash a tiny bit here. Washes up a tiny bit here, but at the same time, if you're the 13 on lap number 33, you gotta think, hey, it's too early to attempt to try to push on the part of the truck you're not supposed to push. Either one of the sides of the track, you need him square smack dab in the middle. When he hits him in one of those no-no spots here, you see he gets okay, and then just the 09 just washes up and leads to a bad push from the 13 into 87 there. See if we can go watch the rest of this wreck here with the 87. 09's involved here. You can see 09 going around in front of the 48 truck, and then the 45 truck was also involved here. There he is. Guys, we'll go ahead and watch this one from the blimp. But yeah, it's just a push gone wrong. I mean, the 09 did wash up a tiny bit there. But again, we're talking about... Oh! What? That's an ARCA brake if I've ever seen one. I mean, I think he's thinking maybe Ray will eventually stop coming back up the track here. And he thought it would be clear, but it just wasn't. Wasn't really much of an opportunity. I think he sees his hole right here. Kind of sees, I think that either Paul or George shoot that hole there. And doesn't really have anywhere to go. Now, did Chris Gale make it through this one? No, where is Gale? Gale, who got top 5 last week at the Roval. Let's see if his Sim Magic machine got through. I think he got on the brakes pretty good here. I think he was fine. He got on those brakes and he was fine. Just watch him. Yeah, there's a lot of trucks here who potentially might be thinking about a quick fix. On lap number 3, taking a look at things. No one's being noted as using quick fix. A lot of drivers still spending time on pit road fixing repair. It's the 45 machine, Storm Patterson. He's still on pit road. He got a lot of damage to that Lane Coin podcast number 45 machine. Let's take a look at all you guys. Ray Rittenauer, I think he's still on pit road. Kelvin Mosier, he's out on the racetrack. So these guys who are still on pit road. Dave Madsen's still on pit road. Brian Wortman, he's still on pit road. Good to see Brian out here. He's making, I think, his second start of the season. Appreciate when Brian shows up because he's the definition of a good guy. And then Matt Cherry, he's still on pit road. I don't think he's took his fast repair. That's been about 2 seconds on his pit box. I think he did not use his fast repair there. But with anything else being said here, we are only 5 laps into tonight's event, and we junked him up. We junked him up bad. A lot of trucks around in that one, if I had to say. But I'm assuming we do get some pretty fast-paced laps here. They increase the pace speed on the pace truck. Something. I'm gonna assume we should be getting the 1 to green this time by. And then there was also a penalty called out here on the number 26 truck, driving through too many pit stalls, so he's gonna have to unfortunately drop to the tail end of the field here. That's a tough one to see. But here we are, 1 to green this time. It's gonna be Sawyer out with this restart as our leader. Brian Mills kind of had part of the blame there on that last caution. He'll be restarting second. Brandon Kluster's third. His truck looks to be fine. Don't think he had really much damage to it. He was one of those who did look like he might have made some slight contact there. But his number 25 machine looks to be fine. So there's that. And then you got Paul Smith. He's out there. He's going to be restarting 4th. George Balfanes Jr. will be restarting 5th with Treston at 6th. Paul Majiska 7th. Kevin Hash 8th. Manning will not be 9th. He'll be Brandon Hamilton out there in some position. Adam Willis, Josh Cully. And then the rest of the field somewhere. There they are. They're right there. Catching up. As again, a lot of guys are spending some time, fixing damage here on pit road. It's not just feels slow, alright? They did pick up the pace speed, but I think we need to go a little bit faster. This is just a little bit too long. I think we should have already been through 3 into 4. I feel like we should be getting ready to go back to the Geico restart zone. This is just, it seems a little bit too slow. I think someone needs to email iRacing.com to tell them to pick up the pace speed just a skosh. Again, here on your restart, it will be Sawyer Ott, Brian Mills, Brandon Kluster, Paul Smith, George Balfanes, and Treston Ott, your first 3 rows. And again, the start finish line is not smack dab in the middle of the tri-oval. It's going to be just a little bit further ahead here. As here they come to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out, and we're back racing here at Talladega. Brian Mills did think about it there for a split second, trying to fill that gap in between the 25 and the 94, but that gap just filled up too quickly. He's going to actually find a gap right there. He's going to get in line between the 94 and the 4, and that's going to leave, unfortunately, I think the 12 truck to sit out there as a rock in Toothbook Creek. I think he's going to drop back a lot of positions here as they are single filed out throughout most of the field here. I mean, your first real side-by-side battle is going to actually be, I think, that 22 truck taking a look on the outside here, Kevin Hash. Yeah, a lot of these trucks are just going to try to probably single file this out, try to lock some laps here as we still have 30, coming to 33 laps to go in the stage. Actually, here comes Calvin Mosier. He's going to come and look on the outside here. So there's 3 trucks in the outside lane compared to about 19 in the inside lane. So it's not a real fair comparison here. And it's still single file up front. Brian Mills looks a little bit higher here. Might just be a different steering ratio opinion depending on what vehicle you're racing here compared to the race leaders. But again, it's 3 trucks in the outside lane here, and it looks like I'm getting a little bit of steam here as now the 45 truck jumps to the outside lane to make it 4 trucks in that lane. And as Chris Gill's also thinking about it here. Might not be a real preferred lane, the inside lane here with all those trucks down there. I mean, you got a lot of checkup, and Gale's just going to drop right back in line here behind his teammate and Matt Kluser, who's saying, never mind, he says again, jump out there again and see what happens. By the way, there's a couple trucks back here by themselves. It's Dave Matson and Brian Whitman. 2 guys probably just want to sit back here and let some laps count down here. As here comes the 94. Let's take some chatter here. As here comes that outside lane. The outside lane has caught up. I don't know if there was a massive check up here with the inside lane or whatnot. There was some arguing going on the radio here between 25 and the 94. That gives an opportunity for former Storm Patterson, number 45, to come down and take the race lead from Sawyer Ott. Will he get credit with the lap lead? Who knows? As here's still side by side here for second between the 12 and the 35. He's got help from, by the way, Adam Boyles in that 22 machine. So there's the numbers here in the outside lane are starting to increase just a little bit as they picked up the number 94. They also look to pick up the number 33 truck, which is a skosh behind them here as the 43 dips in line. And I think you can go ahead and give that lap lead to line to the 45 truck as Paul Smith has the advantage into 1. I thought we were gonna log some laps here, get this stage just a little bit quicker on here, but nah, they said we danced around, we sat single file for long enough here. As Paul Smith has all opportunity to clear down, doesn't. They're gonna be 3 wide here for about 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th on the racetrack here. As Chris Gill is on a truck on the outside lane there, he's gonna go ahead and just fall right back in line. He's actually gonna lose his partner in the outside lane here in a 33 truck to the bottom. And it's still going to potentially come into the line. It's going to be one of those closer laps here. If I had to guess coming to the line, it'll be the 45 truck, maybe by a splitter. Could have also given the 12 truck. That would be as close to a full finish type of situation as you can see here. As the first 8 trucks are side by side, now it's first 7 trucks. Here in a little bit gap, and then it's going to be some more side by side racing. These lines have established. The outside lane's really established here now. As Paul Smith again is clear to come down, but he's not going to come down. I think he likes to push from the number 22 machine. Again, he also got 3 teammates on the inside here in the 45, 35, 25. See what they can do here. Opportunity number 4 is going to be pretty equal. I think the advantage can be given to the outside lane here, and it'll be a little bit less of a photo finish this time to lap number 11 here. And not really, actually. That's going to be the inside lane who prevails. As the 35 gets a little bit out of line there. That's going to check them up. As Paul Smith's going to have more of an advantage here. They're going to actually be 3 wide now as George Balfans jumps to the outside with the help of the 46 truck. Former teammates on All Gas TV racing in the Premier Series a year ago. Now they're 4 wide as the 12 truck is going to get sent back here. And they're going to figure things out here before we get to turn number 3. This track's pretty wide enough to fit 4 wide racing. As now that third line has lots of momentum here. And they're probably going to have to fall back into the second line here and see if they can retry that. Yeah, it's completing lap number 12. I think it's for sure going to be number 45 truck leading this one. Clinching more bonus points here as he can get in that 35 truck. I think he's just trying to get some air there to that number 35 machine. Oh, as that 13 truck washes up just a skosh there. Could be enough to potentially trigger a netco situation. But doesn't. Perfectly fine. Everyone keeps it straight here. It's brought our longest green flag run of the race, 7 laps. As that outside lane really prevails there. I think it might be enough for actually to clear 2 trucks, and we'll do that. And 43 truck says, hey, no, not so fast. Let me get back to the outside lane here. But Paul says, hey, not so fast. Let me hop to the top side. It's going to be 3 wide yet again. And the 46 truck's also going to be looking there. But as the 46 are potentially stay in that middle groove here, as the numbers again are back to the bottom. As you have a new race leader here on lap number 13, the number 22 machine of Adam Boyles. But here comes Calvin Mosier in number 43 truck, seeing what he can do here with the help of the number 94. Now both trucks, I think, in a situation where they need to try to gain as many points as they can here over the next week and a half. See if they can get themselves back into this chase contention here. As it looked like maybe a little bit of looseness there from the 25 truck. It just looked like it stepped out. It could be one of those things where the truck's just staggered enough where it looked like that, but there's nothing really there. And it's going to be outside lane here. I mean, doing a lot of work with just 3 trucks in that outside lane there. Now it's going to be 4 trucks. As Klusterhoos jumps in front of Gale. Actually, 5 trucks. My count math is wrong. But it's now even in both lanes. And here comes the number 94 machine to the bottom lane. I think Kelvin had it though at the line. But going into one, it's going to be the inside lane of George Balfans to the race lead. And he's going to get a pretty decent gap here, giving an opportunity for both the 35 and the 45 to jump up. The 35 does jump up, leaving his teammate there to make up his own mind. What's he want to do there? And it's still a 94 out front. It's going to be side by side between 2 teammates here, as it looks like the outside lane's getting a little bit prevailing here into turn number 3. As we're coming to complete lap number 15 this time. And it's sort of on the outside lane there with Kelvin Mosier, Paul Smith, and Brandon Kluster's 4 truck outside lane. Josh Coley sneaked his way up here in the top 10 trucks. Paul Majivka's still up here in 10th place. Chris Gill is falling back just a skosh there that lap as things were trying to work themselves out. I think Balfans might have led that lap and might have also potentially given to the number 35 machine of Sawyer Ott. It's still a 2 truck battle here on the outside lane, inside lane situation. As now Paul Smith looks 3 wide here. Hasn't really worked out well for him tonight, as no one's really gone with him in that 3 wide situation. He's going to have just to sit back there as the outside lane now is going to dissipate just a tiny bit, as there's now more trucks in the inside lane here. But we've seen 3 trucks do real well in that outside lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if we can see a little bit of a surge here with those 3 trucks, those 3 Silverados in the outside lane. 16 laps down when you come across the line this time, meaning that there's 25 laps, no, 24 laps to go on the stage. Getting stage points are pretty crucial here for your chase contending drivers. As you can see, there's currently 6 of them here in the top 10. Some of those guys sitting a little bit further on the back, well, majority of them here in Balfans, Ott, Mosier, and Coley. Klusterhoos and Patterson are your 2 leading point getters here for the chase coming into tonight, as the outside lane prevails just a little bit here down the back straightaway. But the strength of numbers can go to the inside lane here through turn number 3. That's a little bit of a temp issue here for the inside truck in row number 2. As Boyle says he's having some overheating issues as he's been on that back bumper of that 94 for a while. I think you can go ahead and give lap number 17 potentially to that 35 truck. And it is as close to a dead heat across the line as you can think here. 43 truck thought maybe we can go ahead and dap out, see if they get that 3rd line going. At the same time, I think he might have been like overheating because he was pushing Sawyer for a while there. As the inside lane has kind of shrunk out a tiny bit here like a slinky. an opportunity for the 35 to get to the low line here, leaving Klusterhuis to hang out by himself with the 33 truck. Not a bad truck to have behind you on a Superspeedway in Coley. So I wouldn't really worry, but numbers don't really favor that outside lane currently. As we're coming to plate lap number 18, some of these trucks might also need to start thinking about fuel, potentially. Yeah, not really. All of them been up here road underneath that last caution. So, I mean, okay, they're approaching halfway in the stage. I'm going to assume maybe the window opens up around lap 22, 23. He did come down pit road, completing about 4 laps. So, I mean, it could potentially get there and be good to go to make it to the stage end. Some other trucks here that normally are good saving at fuel. I mean, Ray Rittenauer made his way into the top 10. Same thing with Kevin Hash. And where's Quick? I thought I saw Quick in the field tonight. Was he not in the field tonight? I guess he's not in the field today. Matt Quick is usually another one of those drivers who is pretty good at saving the field. But again, don't really need numbers in the outside lane here, as these two are keeping up here with race leaders. So we're on George Balfans in the inside lane here. But I think it's going to be taking a lot of push in there from the 33 truck. But again, it's also another situation where we're talking about the numbers being higher in the inside lane, so it's going to be causing more of a check-up, stack-up situation. So, I mean, probably the less line with less trucks is preferred. As at number 20, no one looks to be coming down pit road. But, I mean, the way this line looks right now, we should be seeing, it looks like maybe pit stops could be coming. I mean, the whole entire field besides Klusterhuis and Coley are single filed out. So, I mean, that fuel window has to be opening up. I mean, they're halfway through the stage, 20 laps in the stage, and this is not looking good for Klusterhuis. He's going to have to hope he finds a line. I think he has a gap right here. And he will get right in there. So yeah, the whole field's now single filed out. Except for Chris Gale. Chris Gale is back there. He's trying to see to get that outside lane going. One of the drivers, Brian Wortman, say he needs a pit in 3 laps. He's working back there right now with the 09 machine. These two, I mean, probably using more fuel than the guys out front. And there's only 2 trucks going around the racetrack. So, I'm going to say within the next 4 or 5 laps, we'd be seeing these guys potentially coming down and make their pit stop for the stage. But, I mean, the way things are looking, I mean, the whole entire field's single file. 45 truck goes below the apron, not really passing one. Another one of those things we need to talk about, that yellow line around the bottom of the racetrack. Should be double yellow line there, but it's only a single yellow line there. That's kind of like your freeway situation. You're not supposed to do anything on that yellow line. That yellow line is out of bounds. Any pass attempt made on that below that yellow line will be subjected to either A, getting the spot back, or B, a drive-through penalty. So again, yellow line is out of bounds here in the Iron Thunder Racing League. So no pass attempt can be made there. But 22 laps are completed here. But it sounds like Brian and Dave are potentially pitting here in the next 2 laps. So, I mean, these leaders, yeah, gotta be coming here anytime in the next couple laps. I mean, the window's open. They can for sure make it here to the end of the stage. I mean, they've been on the racetrack for 19 laps. A couple of them pacing. They for sure can make it to the end of the stage, no problem, if they were to start pitting here. And again, no one's pitting. But Brian says he's going to come down pit road. And so is Dave Madsen himself. 22 says he's going to come down pit road. 94, I think, also says he's coming down pit road. I think the 24 called out. So here comes some drivers on the pit road. 25 called out. I don't know if that was Sawyer or Storm. But a lot of these guys are coming down here lap number 24. And it's not like the majority of the field might be coming here. This time, do I have a pit entrance camera? But here they go. Here comes pit lane. The majority of the field is coming down. And it's a pretty good entrance for all these guys. No problem. And some of these guys do choose to stay out. 33 truck of Josh Coley will get credit with leading a lap. Huge difference to us. I mean, they're going to use a little bit of fuel here. And it's right now the top 6 trucks on the racetrack have stayed out. Where's Ray? Oh, no, Ray's on pit road. All right. So the top 5 trucks on the racetrack have stayed out. So I think these guys are going to come down this time by. I don't know if it's going to play well. I mean, the majority of the field, majority of that 20 truck field came down last lap. So I don't know how much of an advantage it's going to be for these guys. It's going to be almost 4 wide coming down pit road. But again, everyone comes down pit road perfectly fine. First truck off of pit road, so this would be your race leader situation. Would be George Balfin and Sawyer Ott, Adam Bowles, Brian Mills, Brian Kluser, Houston Patterson. So those guys are on pit road right now. So this will be your second. Actually, might separate these guys a lot. But you should hopefully be able to catch back up. As a lot of these guys are separated a lot. Holy Nikes, man. Well, let's see where these guys are at. They're exiting pit road. So yeah, it's not really going to benefit them here. Because you're going to see these guys at full song are just ride right by them. They might be able to, I guess, fall in line right after Paul and these guys. They might be able to fall in line right between them. So, I mean, it's now, I guess you can say 3 distinct packs. You got these 6 trucks right here. And you got another group of 5 trucks here. That potentially could formulate with this group of 5 trucks right here. And then you got another group of trucks. Not really. Then you have Rittenauer. Then you got Treston, who's by himself. I don't know what happened to Ott on his pit stop. But he's back there. And then you got these 2 who are still on the lead lap. If the caution does come out, they'll be fine. They're still on the lead lap. Just 40 seconds behind the field. But now it's a group of 5 and 6 trucks throughout the race field. He's kind of settle it down. Kevin Hash is gaining on this group, so this now is going to turn into a 9 truck group, and potentially could turn even more here. As here goes the 25 and 45 outside lane here, as the 43 truck says we're going to take it a little even higher here. Oh, here comes the 35 truck to the outside lane. So things are starting to formulate here. Silverados on this Ford. It's also the 3 JCOM teammates here, jumping back out front to the race lead. 27 laps completed here tonight. 7 laps completed in our 40 lap stage. 30. Hang on, I'm trying to do math. That's where I'm not good. 53 laps to go in the stage. 13 laps to go. Sorry, 53 laps to go in the race. 13 laps to go in the stage. And business is starting to pick up here. As that other 5-car pack is like, hey, we want to have fun too. As they've joined the party, I think they might have also. No, Paul's still a part of the pack. Paul is still in the draft this pack. And we have a new fast lap, by the way. The 26 truck of Manning Gregory. He set a fast lap that last time by. At 8:38 p.m. on lap number 27, Manning Gregory set the new fast lap of the race. But it's 2 trucks and it's side-by-side action as here comes a 25 truck. Again, I'm not surprised. Outside preventing just a tiny bit. I mean, the inside line seems to check up a lot. I know in the next-gen car, you really don't want to be in the inside line because that's where you get pinched down and, I mean, the steering pinion and whatnot. These trucks, I mean, Oh, side draft. It's had to be the next gen car. These trucks have a little bit less side draft, not as powerful as a side draft. I mean, you can attempt a side draft. Doesn't mean it's going to work. And usually in those situations where we see people attempting a side draft, where we get those netco situations, and then we junk half the field, so. But right now, the strength of numbers in the outside lane, that's different than what we've seen here in the first a little part of that stage situation there. But also need to take a look here, as these guys are over in turn number 2, these two trucks here, Matz and Wertman. As Brandon Clousers has a lead for a split second here with help from the 45 machine. Might have an opportunity to potentially even clear him going back straightaway here. As all these trucks dip below the yellow line there. But yeah, the 25 is clear. He will drop down. Gives an opportunity for Patterson now to lead the outside lane here. And an opportunity for that 25 truck to even potentially leave a lap and get some points back on Patterson here going into Homestead next week. And they're now side by side for the first about 12 trucks. Patterson's now clear if he wants to jump down. He'll go ahead and stay in the... Well, no, he actually drops down there. Leads lap number 30. Now gives an opportunity for the two teammates in Coley and Hash to see what they can do here in the outside lane. Some new names, I guess. And I don't know. Have we really talked about Pamitat tonight? I know he was involved in that first caution, but he's up here in the top 10, competing around 7th place right now. Kevin Hash has worked his way back up front here. Storm just a skosh high. I think he's still racing on that F1 style wheel that actually I think it's a BMW wheel. So he's still racing on that, I believe. So this is I don't think a truly preferred situation here when we do a super speedway on a very narrow wheel. But Kevin Hash goes ahead and leaves that lap. Lap number 31. And so we have 10 laps to go in stage. 9 laps to go in the stage. And side by side for the most of the first 10, 12 trucks. This whole pack all the way back to... Actually, it's a 15 truck pack. Majivka and Gregory, the last 2 trucks here. And then some 40 seconds behind is Rittenauer, and then some 42 seconds behind is Trestenai. And then here's these 3 trucks. They're going to have to eventually think about choosing a lane here, because here comes the leaders. And these leaders are 2 by 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 2 for about 8 rows. Well, it's now only about 5 rows. But yeah, here these guys. I think there's a blinking truck back there. There is a blinking truck. It's a 43 truck who's blinking. A chase contender potentially having some connectivity issues. I know the server saw a lot of connectivity issues. I think it might have been... Ooh, what night was it? Was it, I know there was a lot of connectivity issues. I know a lot of people had some races they were in, and a lot of drivers dropped out. I want to say it might have been Thursday, it might have been Friday. No, I think it was Thursday night. No, it was Saturday. It was Saturday night where a lot of drivers had connection issues, and a lot of drivers were in the races, and about a couple laps to go in the race, they had, like, dropped out. And I know a couple guys I talked to in this race currently, so they were doing a race. I can't say the name of the race because that is a prohibited term, can't be mentioned, but they did a race and they had about 3 laps to go and they disconnected. So due to, I don't know if it's upload or what, but a lot of connectivity issues happening across the server this weekend. But things are still heated here. Things are boiling hot. I mean, things are, their temperatures rising, you know. We're seeing some bubbles forming in the water here. As we're coming to 6 laps to go on the stage. And as Hash moves back out to the outside lane here with his teammate, leaving the 3 teammates here of Storm, Brandon, Sawyer in the inside lane here. Again, 6 laps to go in this stage. Points get paid out here, top 10. And there's right now about 6 chase drivers in the top 10, 4 who really need points, but won't really gain any if Storm wins the stage. But again, these guys are 2x2, and I do see some lap trucks in the distance here. First one they're going to catch will be the number 74 machine of Workman, but you can see they're all on that same short chute coming to the trial. As those guys are now going to be the 5 truck pack compared to about a 15 truck pack. Paul still hanging on there at the end of the pack. As there's now 5 laps to go on the stage, as Clisters did jump out to the outside lane there. Took the lead at the line, I believe. And so they're side by side throughout most of this top 15. 12 truck jumps high. Everyone else stays in the bottom lane here. 87 jumps high. And it's going to be a very interesting situation here as they get ready to go through 3 and 4. Some of the lap trucks go high, some stay low. They're going to be 3 wide for a brief second to 15 truck jumps high. Oh, that's going to be a very tight situation through 4. They're going to be 4 wide. They're get through the first couple trucks. 2 trucks stay bottom lane here. Oh, there's a dicey situation. They were almost 4 wide at the exit of turn 4. This is going to really check up the inside lane there as these guys merge into the inside lane here. 35 stays low, almost contact made between the 94 and the 09. 09 trucks all over the place yet again. He hasn't really felt the turbulence of the draft since probably lap number 4. 35 trucks a little bit all over the place here. Things are just starting to get a little bit dicey here with 4 laps to go in the stage. What 2 wide turn into 3 wide real quick. 46 truck in the middle. It looks like it'll be a little bit all over the place here when we come to the line. Again, it's not in the middle of the tri-oval. It's a little bit past the tri-oval. We'll see 3 laps to go in the stage. Val fans would be the stage winner if it comes out on the side, but it didn't. And here comes Coley. It's now 3 wide for the lead. Well, not anymore because the inside lane prevailing just a tiny bit. But runs to be coming from both outside lanes here. Paul Smith, the lap truck, jumps up to the middle lane. Cherry jumps up to the top lane, but he's a little bit too far back here. As they're 3x3x3. Last time I've seen a situation where they're about 3x3x3. They had a truck in front, a car in front here at Talladega, and then, you know, I think a bad block and a wreck, and Tony Stewart's upside down. The whole field wrecked. I'm thinking 2012 Talladega, the last Superspeedway race in the Gen 6. But here they come, 2 laps to go on the stage, and they're 3 wide. And again, they're 3 wide for about 4 or 5 rows. And the line, I think it might have been Coley with the lead there. Thought about potentially seeing if he was clear. That it wasn't. He's going to get a push coming from Pamitat. I don't know if we get to the end of the stage here without wrecking. The 12 trucks in the wall. Quick, a little bit decisive move. One of those situations where if it was any closer to potentially Mosher, there would have been a situation. Oh, there's a truck in the wall. And there they go. And they wrecked. The whole field wrecked again. There's 5 trucks who didn't wreck there. I don't know how this is gonna. I don't know how it's gonna be scored out though. That's gonna be a interesting situation. When this is all, I don't know what happened here, but we'll do the instant replay. Let's see what happened. This is all in the middle of the back straightaway. I knew the way they were looking, they're gonna wreck. But Kluster, I mean, it's a perfectly timed block. It's a perfectly timed block. So it's nothing Brandon really did wrong here. You might still be given the blame here because, I mean, oh no, hang on. Some dropping frames. We'll give it a split second here. see if we can dissect this. And there we go. But Brandon gave a perfectly timed block. Perfectly timed. No problem here. This is 100% clear. It's not a late block. It's a perfectly timed block. So, Brandon gives a block. Perfectly fine. Perfectly timed. Excellent. No issue here. No issue here. He still might be given the cause of caution here. There is points of blame, penalty points given out, whatnot. So Brandon might have an opportunity to be given blame onto this wreck. So he kind of did start by giving the block, but it's not a bad block. It is a perfect time block. And the situation then comes back to what Pamitat's doing. I mean, Pamitat's all in the back bumper. They're pitting right now, so this is going to be a little bit tough to do. Where is Pamitat? Pamitat, I mean, it's in the back bumper of Cully. So, I mean, there's not really much Cully can do, not really much Pamitat can do here. I mean, these two are already determined that they're going to be pushing each other down the back straightaway. So when Brandon comes in front of Cully has to check up, but with Cully checking up with the 48 truck in his back bumper, I mean, it's going to upset the truck, and then Cully is trying to get back in line, and it's part of the truck you don't really want to push. Sends Cully in the outside wall, and then it's just chain reaction at that point. And a lot of these trucks just get through it. Just barely get through it. Yeah, it's all of a situation. And again, it's not a bad block on Brandon. It's a well-timed block. There's nothing wrong with the block Brandon did. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get the penalty report tomorrow or Wednesday here, and it's a penalty point to the 25 truck for a block thrown that unfortunately then caused a 10 truck pileup. It's one of those situations. I mean, he's doing what he's doing. I mean, he sees some line coming in the outside lane there, and he's just trying to do what he needs to do there to potentially secure him more points to try to get him closer to Patterson there in the chase battle. So again, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's super speedway racing, so it's not like it's gonna happen. It's blocks can be thrown. But I'm not 100% sure how this stage is gonna get played out. I don't know who won the stage, how points were scored. I'm not real sure. I don't know if this is them coming down pit road for the first time on lap number 41. But I mean, by the looks of it, everyone except for Mills and Boyle stayed out on the racetrack. So if I had to make a grand assumption, George Balvance was your stage winner. I think I could ask Dylan, but I think he needs to still figure that out and how everything was scored there. But Brian Mills is your new race leader. As the are the lights off on the iRacing? Yeah, lights are off on the iRacing.com page truck. So it might be interesting. Some of those guys might have got entering a closed pit penalty. That might be an interesting penalty there. But some information we kind of do need to think about here coming into the second stage, because we did see from that lap 3 caution to the end of the stage, 35 laps of green flag racing. We saw him pit after about 23 laps in this run. They came down, it's about 23 laps into a run. So when everything cycles back out here, when we come back to green on lap number 43, I expect maybe around lap, well, they don't need to extend that long. Unless they need to start thinking about green-white checker situation, because there is a possibility of that. There is a possibility of green-white checkered, so do need to think about that. So I should close this app. This app making me depressed. We don't need to take a look at that app. But on this restart, it's Brian Mills, Adam Boyles. Then you got Matt Kluster's Kevin Hash, Brandon Kluster's, and then the whole rest of the fields behind him. Dale Ott, Patterson, Coley, Cherry. Rittenauer, Mosier, Ott, Hamatet, Balfans, Majivka, Gregory. The rest of the trucks on only lap, so it's 2 trucks sitting duck on the outside lane here on the restart, and everyone else. And a damaged 84 truck. That 84 truck's beat up to hell, man. I really hope he dips out of line. Shoot, that's a damaged machine there. Holy. What? But back out front, and then Buzz got the race lead. Didn't start on the outside of the front row there. But it's the race lead, but I think the outside lane's gonna have the numbers here. And here's the 03. The 03 is gonna drop down to the bottom. With some teammates, some corporate teammates together here, in Klusrus, Gale, Ott, Klusrus, Patterson. They're gonna be working together in the outside lane there. As when we come back to the line here to complete number 43, I think it might actually be Chris Gale. I think Chris Gale is gonna get a lap. No, it's Brandon Klusrus. Brandon Klusrus led the lap at the line there. As there is now 37 laps to go. Again, expect pit stops maybe around, we'll say, doing quick 17 laps to go in the race, 16 laps to go to the race. So we got some laps to wear off here. We got some time to kill. As this restart is a little bit more racy compared to the last one. Last one we saw some single file racing for about the first couple laps and run, and now they're 2x2. They're gonna be 3 wide here between 12 truck and a 48 truck. Oh, and the 33 truck in the bottom lane there. As Chris Gill is going to prevail in that outside lane there to the race lead. For a split second. As Coaster is going to prevail in the inside lane there with help from Kevin Hash. And down the Alabama gang super stretch they go. Let's see that somewhere on the wall. It does, right there. As right now they're side by side. For about 10 cars, 5 rows. As Gale drops to the bottom lane there from help from Sawyer. He's going to have control of the inside lane now. As things are starting to heat up here a little bit again. Here comes Sawyer on the outside lane. If he gets a good enough push, he might have a chance to lead a lap. And I think he might have had him at the line there on lap number 45. 35 laps to go in the race tonight. Again, this is the penultimate race. This is the second last race of the season. We're going to have the finale next week at Homestead Miami Speedway, like it should be. Any championship, any season should end at Homestead. And that's where we end our season. The final race of the chase will be determined next week. As right now, your early odds-on favorite to win the championship came in with like a 13-point lead. It was Storm Patterson. Is currently sitting in 6th place. I mean, no one's really gaining points right now on him. I mean, I don't know where he finished in this stage. I don't know where some of these guys finished in this stage. It's going to be interesting. I mean, some guys might have gained points on him. I think Balfans did. I don't know if it's enough for him, though, to give himself a chance at Homestead next week. But still, Chris Gill and that Sim Magic King CG1 machine out front here in the inside lane there. You see a little bit of bobbing and weaving down the straightaway. That's just, guys, wheel settings different here. 03 with a little damage on the left side there. Doesn't really seem to be impacting his truck much. As they're still side by side here. Got another lap truck ahead. And that one about 50-some seconds behind. I think that might be Paul Majivka there. As they're coming along to potentially put him a lap down here. He's in the high line. Unlike the last couple of lap trucks there, underneath that last run there after green flag pit stops. I just realized that it might be a little bit loud. And side by side, Paul's just gonna hop in line here. He does go a lap down. He will be the first truck. You know, he wouldn't be the first truck a lap down because I think Matson and Gregory are also a lap down in part of this pack. They're 3 and 4. They're still side by side again, just a skosh higher than truck behind him. As they get ready to come through their short chute to get into their tri-oval here. 3 wide here. His lap truck of Matson looks high here. This would be position. This is part of the fight to get back on the lap. Unfortunately, he wouldn't get back on the lap. There is Paul. Paul right there is the first truck 1 lap down. He's actually the 3rd truck in the outside lane there. As it's still Chris Gale leading that inside lane there. No real changes to your leaders of the lines there. As this, again, it's 2x2 majority of the field here. That's about almost every single truck you can have in the field. I mean, yeah, Brian's by himself. Paul, I mean, he's part of the field. Like, the whole entire field is here. All 14 trucks on the lap plus 3 or 4 lap trucks are all here. So this is your whole entire field. Your whole entire field minus Cherry. Cherry, I think, called it a night due to his damage, and that's a rough one. I mean, he came in with so much momentum from the regular season there, as we do have a new leader at cross the line in the Storm Patterson number 24 machine of Matthew Kluster. He's still going to come across the line on lap number 49. So I expect pit stops here in the next maybe 10, 12, 13 laps here. And it's again just a lot of side-by-side racing here. This is what this draft package is. I mean, it's a lot of leapfrogging. I mean, you can push much more aggressively. I mean, we've seen a lot of aggressive pushes tonight, thanks to the new damage model like I put on earlier this year. As right now, Paul would be doing a couple of trucks who are a lap down a favor here if he goes ahead and gets out front here. And I mean, he's getting pushed by Pamitat. Pamitat did give a push that did bring out the last caution. Smith, for a split second, was doing a favor to who's the next truck in line for the lucky dog at this point. You'd be doing a favor for Manning if he does go ahead and gets in front of the race leader here before the time of caution. If we do have a caution, he'd be doing a couple of drivers a favor. He'd be, you know, giving some hope for some drivers there. As he's a lead truck in the outside lane, he's also helping those guys in the outside lane there being the lap truck in the outside lane. I mean, he's helping Pan Attack, he's helping Coley. They're saving fuel, so I mean, it's helping them extend this fuel run just a tiny bit. As the inside lane had a little bit of issue there. I think it was a push, maybe got a little bit wrong there for Ott and the Kluster who's there. That's Matt Kluster who's, by the way, in the 24 machine. So it could be just a little bit of a push gone wrong type of situation there. Checked up the inside lane just a tiny bit, is an opportunity for not only Pamitat but Paul Smith to drop down to the bottom there. Paul Smith, again, the truck in the inside lane, is not your race leader. He is in 15th place, the first last truck on the lead lap, fighting to be the trying to help some of these guys who are in that competition for the first truck 1 lap down whenever our next caution does come out. So your battle for the lead is actually a couple trucks behind them here in the 48 and the 33. These 2 trucks are battling for the lead. These 2 trucks are part of the last caution that came out right before the stage. I don't know who led that last lap. I'm not really sure who led that last lap. It's really hard to take a look at who's leading those laps because, I mean, that last truck on the lead lap on the inside lane there, I mean, really just diverts on who's leading these laps because it's just pulling out of focus there. Usually you see the leader on the inside lane there, but instead it's Paul. Paul is your truck on the outside lane there. It's a big moment for the 48 truck off of 4. I don't know if it was just a loose truck situation, what was going on there, but he looked like he had a little bit of a moment there. Doesn't really check up the inside lane. And it's 53 laps in the book. I have another truck coming in front of him here. Unfortunately, I think that's a 2-lap down machine. You can't really see him right now. There you go. It's Brian Wertman. He's going 3 laps down, unfortunately. But Brian's a good dude, man. Always gotta cheer for him when he's out on the racetrack. He always has these wacky strategies, a challenge he seems like he's doing. See how many sets of tires he can use. I don't know if it was like a Charlotte race or something. It's one of those races where you're normally gonna come down pit for tires. He did the whole entire race on one set of tires. I don't remember if it was in the ARCA car, if it was in the Gen 6, or if it was in the next gen. It wasn't in the next gen. I think it might have been either the Gen 6, the B car, might even been in the truck, where he did the whole entire race on one set of tires. I mean, Brian's one of those guys who, again, you just root for him when he's out on the racetrack because he's one of those fan favorites. He's like a Rob Stewart of the Iron Thunder Racing League. Outside like GT3. He is one of those fan favorites. So I'm glad to have Brian out here. He's making his second start of the season, so I'm glad to see him out here, man. Fortunately, he's not having a race he wants to see. He is 3 laps down. He needs a couple wave runs to get back on the lead lap and whatnot. Still Paul Smith in the inside lane here. 55 in the book, 25 to go. Again, I'm expecting fuel window in the next 8-ish laps. Taking a look at things, taking a look at numbers. Yeah, I say the next 5 to 8-ish laps, putting 23-ish. So, there is that. Again, Paul is a lap down, so he's trying to see what he can do there. Leading that inside lane. And the numbers are currently in favor of the inside lane here. Chris Gill moves up to the inside. Majority of that outside lane there is a lap down. You see the 26 and the 09. They're both a lap down. And unfortunately, they really need to see if they can get from Paul here, because they would not be the first truck a lap down anymore, because Coley drops down from him and takes over the race lead with a buffer truck. Essentially, he has a buffer truck on the inside lane here, so even if Kelvin does say get side by side, he's got to essentially now get around 3 trucks on the inside lane there. So Coley now has a buffer truck, which is really beneficial for him, and Calvin's gonna see if he can get in line there. And he'll sneak down there in the bottom lane, and unfortunately that's gonna kill most of that outside lane there. Someone blinking? The 48 truck does seem to have connection issue. Okay, I could tell by the scoring pile on the left side of the screen. Like there was a truck that had some sort of connection issue. I couldn't really tell who it was. It's just saw a name like go up and down the thing. It's just like who's having connection issues here. Again, majority of the trucks are in the inside lane there. It says a 15 truck pit. I wouldn't be surprised. I think he might took a wave around. So now gonna potentially be the first truck on lap down. He's had a very rough day today, if I have to say, in that Apex Power Sports number 15 machine. Very rough indeed. But the 3 trucks are prevailing in the outside lane here. Masson's really giving Gregory a push here to see if he can go ahead and get themselves back on the lead lap, or even just trying to get in front of Paul, who's been the first truck 1 lap down most of the night. Most of the second stint, second stage, second act. I know. There's another word. This I don't know what it is, but there's another word for it. A second stanza. As things have started to spread out just a skosh. And I think the fuel window is starting to open up here for some of these trucks. Some of these guys are probably potentially thinking pit stop in the next 2-3 laps. Because they should be able to make it from here on the end of the race. As the 48 truck calls out pitting. Another truck calls out. So the first set of drivers are going to call up pitting here. This is right on coming to 20 to go. I want to say it's the 3 shoulder boys racing guys, and you're also going to see 33 truck dip down below the line with them. Kelvin comes down, 13 comes down, 03, 87, 74. So this is the first group of guys coming in the early part of the window. When do we see the next couple of drivers coming? Valfan's race leader says he's going to pit. 25 is going to come down. 22 says he's going to come down pit road. 45, 35. So yeah, here comes, I think, everyone else is going to come down pit road this time. And here comes these guys. They're on the racetrack. That's interesting. You can look at everything here, make sure everyone's still within each other. These guys, I mean, very clean pit entrance tonight. I do have to give props to all that. No real issues coming onto pit road. And yeah, that's everyone. Everyone's on pit road. Paul has issues. That's going to really ruin his run here. Having to back up like that. Taking a look at things, these are first group of guys that came down pit road. They're off of 4 right now. These guys are coming off of pit road, so it might be a situation where they'll be very, very gosh darn close here to be neck and neck off of pit road here. Dave right now would be on the lap. Caution does come out. We do need to mention that. Dave would be on the lap, the last truck on the lap. But here they come, these guys, the last group of guys on pit road. And there comes the first group. So a very, very interesting thing here. I mean, it's 3 trucks really breaking away. They're a second in front of the next group of guys. But then here comes the group who pitted first. They're at full sung. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. The later pit stop looks like it paid out just a split second. But it's not gonna pay out now, because here comes Calvin, Gale, Habitat, Clusers on the outside lane here. Just more trucks and up the speed compared to just the 3 JCOM trucks in the inside lane there. So it could be a little bit interesting here. They do need to make about full 20 laps here on fuel for some of these guys. So it's gonna get a little bit interesting to see if they can make it that far to the end of the race on fuel. If they overplayed their cars a lap too soon. Things are starting to get 2 by 2 again. Outside lane has a little bit of a gap, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue here. It's gonna affect him just a tiny bit. It's now just Kelvin with Matt Klisterhoos and 33 truck, and there goes Dave to the outside lane. Dave in a perfect situation for caution was to come out right now to be your first truck a lap down. He would be potentially into that lap back. There's some chatter there saying sorry to another driver. That's 94 apologizing to the 33. You don't really know what happened there. But we got it all good, so there's no real issue there. But I guess it's a 3-truck, a little bit of a breakaway. Oh, never mind. They're side by side. I saw 3 trucks clear, but the outside lane's still there. As Matson's giving a good push to the number 46 machine at Chris Scale. Scale in contention. Another solid run. Like I said, he had a pretty good run last week at the Roval. He's having a great run tonight. Missed most of the wrecks tonight. He's just out there. It's a pretty clean, cinematic machine. Now, another thing we also didn't even mention, I didn't even think about looking at this. Interesting. Gale doesn't have a clean machine. He used his fast repair. That's another thing we need to take a look at if we get another caution. Drivers who potentially have used their fast repair. As there's coming to the line, 15 laps to go here tonight for the Talladega 212. It's actually 212.8 miles. As Matson's trying to see if he can go ahead and get in front of Sawyer here to get himself back on the lap. The old-fashioned way. No lucky dog needed. So first trucking outside lane, who's on contention on the same lap as Mosier. As Gale falls back in a line. I don't know why. I think he might have been worried about fuel. I think he didn't want to. I think that lap early they came down might have been just a little bit too soon. As we do have former broadcaster Jonathan Grist up in the chat. How's it going, man? Thank you for tuning in tonight for the Talladega 212. As we're in the winding laps here, coming to 13 laps to go. 14 laps to go. My math is wrong this time. Again, Dave on the outside lane is the first truck all lap down. He's in contention, trying to get his lap back without having to get a lucky dog. Also getting a situation if a caution does come out, and say he's in front of the race leaders, he can go ahead and pit and do whatever he wants with the race leaders and doesn't have to deal with an along line penalty. He's working with his teammate who is on the lead lap, the 43 truck. So 43 truck is on the lead lap, trying to push him to the lead lap lane, the last truck on the lead lap. Not really working out well right now. I mean, it's not great numbers wise, but we've also seen tonight where 3 trucks have really prevailed in the outside lane. They've been really able to keep up. And I mean, it's all a situation of checkups here and there. I mean, you have 16 trucks in the inside lane. They're going to check up eventually. Yeah, I mean, that just gives an opportunity for just like a 3-truck situation here. It's now 2 trucks, the 2 M&M trucks here. That's not going to really work out well for them. It's now they're really outnumbered, and we haven't really seen a 2-truck group work out well tonight. But they've been able to stay pat so far. Haven't really lost a lot of time. But now they're starting to lose a little bit of ground. As 94, I mean, you go from being equal here with about 2nd place, and you're not going to probably be equal with the 94 machine. I know, it's really surprising. I just find it surprising how 2 trucks were able to maintain here with these guys. And it's not like they're really like side drafting either. Because again, side draft's not really strong in these vehicles. So I mean, it's not really attempting to like stall them out. As we do have a 21st entry onto the track, it's race admin. I think he went out to complete a lap, cross the line, get himself 21st place. But yeah, Dylan Hill is the 21st place driver tonight. Can't gain or lose any spots because he's 68 laps down, 40 some laps behind the truck in front of him here. But 69 in the book. Nice. Means we have 11 laps to go here. And no business really heating up here. Here comes the 4 truck to the outside lane here. Fortunately, that's just not really for position with anyone. He's just another lap truck adding to the outside lane there. But now kind of gives the numbers like we've seen most of the night really prevail here in the outside lane. We've usually seen 3 trucks just go out there and do pretty good. They're coming to the line. You should see on your top left of the screen here, 10 laps to go. And it's a long 10 laps. It's 26.6 miles. Anything can happen between here and lap number 80. Sooner or later, some of these guys are going to say, hey, it's go time. We saved enough fuel to goal. There's no more waiting around. It's a win. So we need to go. When do these guys say this? Say it's time to go. How long do you have to wait? I guess I don't know how long it is to formulate a run to get going. I mean, you got groups of teammates. You can see a group of teammate back here, 33:03:87. I mean, there's a group of teammates there. So when these guys want to say it's time to go, it's time to go. So I mean, potentially I want to say that group right there might be the first group to dip out of line. I mean, you got a decent bit of group here, teammates, 48, 24, 46. But you also got to deal with the 4 truck in the way. So I mean, it's really getting interesting here. 9 laps to go, and who's going to be the first group of trucks to dip out on the line and start trying to inch their way closer to the race leader. Now there's a truck in the way there, and a lot of separation here between 48, 24, and the 46. So that's the group that's going to do it. And it just doesn't look like a lot of momentum here. It's now just going to be Dave all by himself in the outside lane. Kelvin dips down to the bottom lane here. Everyone's in the bottom lane. 9 laps to go. Coming to 8. It's just starting to give me 2019. I don't know if it was. I think it was Beef West Virginia 300 from Daytona, the Xfinity Series opener, where it's single file, and no one's gonna really do anything to about 2 to go. It's just single file out. 8 laps to go from Talladega. 20. We ran 4 laps, so it's 22 and some change miles to go. So this is a very interesting situation we got going here. I mean, I there's gotta be a group of trucks that says it's go time and needs to step out of line and go. But who's it gonna be? I mean, you also gotta deal with the fact you got 2 teammates here. A third one, just a truck behind him. 2 trucks behind him. I mean, does Pamatech get help from his former teammate? And what the heck? What did I just see there? It might have been a connection issue. Could potentially be the case there. Yeah, I mean, it might also be coming to a situation where it's too big of a gap to overcome here. Because, I mean, Paul's now separating him. Here goes Gil, gets around him. That's going to really stall up this group. And any potential shot at getting to the leaders here. So I think it's got to be someone from this first 7 truck breakaway here. Someone's gonna get to the backbone for the truck in front of them and start shoving them and see what they can do here. Now it's really getting to crunch time. Now we're getting to about 2.66 times 5 is 0.3. 15.3 miles to go. I mean, time's running out. Someone's got to start doing something here. I mean, that second part of the group has caught back up, but they're not. Doesn't really look like they're formulated well to potentially create a second line and go. There goes Rittenauer. He looks high. Didn't really have the help from Hash behind him. Again, it's starting to get a little bit too late here. I feel like the run has to start formulating now. You just can't. I don't know. Is this 26 trucks that he's pitting? He's a lap truck. Not in the main pack. He's right there on your screen. He's going down pit road. Coming to line 4 laps to go. That's about 11 point. No, it's 12 point numbers. 12 points, 12 and some odd miles left to go. I mean, they have gone back together here. It's just when does the push and start to get them to the outside lane here? 46 to below the yellow line there. No passes were made, so no problem. Someone's got to dip out of the line here and start to charge. Because again, the laps are winding down. When they come off of 4 and get through most of this front straightaway, it'll be 3 laps to go. Who's going to be the first truck to do it, though? Does Dave jump out and help Kelvin in 6th place? I mean, that's 2 teammates who are for sure together here. The 4th truck looks the outside lane here. That's really doing nothing there. But you can tell how much faster it is. I mean, is Fuel really concerned? Could these guys be... Oh, no, here goes the 45. 45 jumps high. So does a 25. They're going to dip out in front of their teammate Sawyer Ott. This might also be in a situation trying to lane control to see if he can potentially give Ott in a position to win this race. 0387, right when they saw the 25-45 dip out, jump to the high lane. Here they're swinging in the high line. Patterson to the bottom line, coming to 2 laps to go. So I guess it didn't take much. It didn't really take much. I thought it'd take a lot more. But the 87 to Rittenauer to the race lead. 2 laps to go from Talladega. That really didn't take much. But now, who makes the next move? Does the 45 and 35 link up and try to get to the front here? 25's dropping back, doesn't really have much help. Here's a 94, he's the 3rd truck, 2nd group. 35 looks side, 45 gets to the bottom. Now it can be 2 teammates here controlling the 2 lines. The 25 looks a little bit high here. He will get to the outside, just not quite to the outside quarter panel of the 94 here. Through the short chute into the trial. As long as we don't wreck here and the start finish line, the race is official. White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by nobody. Side by side, it's now going to get interesting here. Who's going to be the next truck to dip out? Who gives the wrong push here at the wrong time? 94 helping the 35, 87 helping the 45. Equal going down the back straightaway, but who's going to dip out next? 35's clear. Here goes to the 48 to the high side. Help from the 12. The 12 doesn't know if he wants to go. Things starting to get a little bit wiggly here for some of these drivers. Push is starting to get a little bit heavier than they were before. They're going to be dead even through the exit of 4 through the short chute. Dead even here. That's a pass below the yellow line for the number 24. But coming to the start finish line, it will be Storm Patterson, the race winner. Sorry, finishes 2nd. Rittenauer gets home 3rd. Battlefan's 4th. And so it's by 14/100ths of a second. I think that's photo finish cam worthy. All right. All right. I unfortunately can do this. Bloop. This is how much it's by. That's your margin of victory right there. 14 1,000ths of a second. That's your margin of victory. Where's the 45 truck? The 45 truck's burning it down right now. He's still in 3 and 4. But the magical season of the 45 truck continues. This is win number, I think, 6 on the season. It's going to really help him potentially extend his points lead going into next week at Homestead. There's also a wreck that happened after the start finish line. We need to take a look at that. What happened here? I know the 24 truck dipped below the yellow line. Is that what caused this wreck? Brandon takes it through there. Oh, he makes contact with the other Brandon, trying to see if he can get as many positions as he can. That's what that was. Okay. But back to Storm, who's currently burning it down. As I guess it's time to speak to him. Is Ray in the chat? Ray finished third. Ray's not in the chat, so we don't get to pull him up. But we get to go ahead and move to the booth. The driver number 45 machine, your race winner tonight. This is what now, 3 in a row?
3 in a row, brother.
Storm Patterson.
Holy crap, we did it! We won at Dega!
Now I have a question. With about 5 laps to go, do you think you had a shot at winning this race?
That entire last run, I was fuel saving hard, man. I don't think I hit full throttle until I went up to that top, bro. Oh my god, yeah, I thought we had a good shot there. I knew, man, I don't even know what to say. I just, what a last few laps.
So was fuel gonna be this close no matter what? Were you guys pitting at like the fringe of your first fuel run, or was it just a situation where you know that there's 20 laps to go and you should be good to make it to the end?
Well, we couldn't make 20. We could make 19 the longest. Or no, we could make 18 the longest. And yeah, we pitted with like 19 to go, so I had to save about a lap and a half, and you know, I had about half a gallon to do burnout. So, man, I don't even know what to say. That was a fuel race right there, son.
Nothing like Talladega and fuel mileage. That explains a lot why we didn't see a lot of moves there prior to about 3 laps to go.
Oh yeah, everyone was in the same boat there. I was talking to Pamata and Hash. I was working with them all night, and yeah, we were all in the same boat. Yeah, wow.
Well, this is what, your 5th win of the season, 6th win. I
Six.
lost count at this point. I feel like we're talking to you every single week, and I don't know if it's either first, second, or third. We're talking to you every single week, man. You have yourself a pretty decent lead going into Homestead next week. In a situation where you could potentially finish like 16th place and win a championship. How does that currently make you feel?
It makes me, job's not over, right? As Kobe Bryant once said, job's not over. We still got 1 more week. Anything can happen. I can blue screen. Anything can happen, right? So we got 1 more week. Brandon's a hell of a competitor. We'll see what's going on here. Yeah, job's not finished, but you know, it's Dega, baby. We won at Dega.
That you for sure did. Before we go ahead and let you go back down there and celebrate, I don't know who's left in the JCOM chat. There's no one really left in the JCOM chat. So before we let you go ahead and go down there and talk to whoever's left in there, is anyone like to give a quick shout out to you, a quick thank you for?
Everyone on JCOM. Brandon, Treston, Sawyer, especially Sawyer, man. I was so conflicted out of 4. I was like, I kind of wanted Sawyer to win, but you know, it is what it is. I want to put the 45 in victory lane. So, yeah, everyone on JCOM, Mark Harris at Skybox NASCAR. You can listen to Lane Coin Podcast on Spotify, Palstrade.com, Odd Company, and man, it's been a year. It's been a season. I can't believe it. I think I could be wrong, but I think we also broke the most wins in a season record too. So there's that, which is cool. Yeah, man, it was just perfect tonight. I can't believe it. And yeah, we'll go to Homestead, and we'll try to put on a show. We'll try to finish out the championship with another win. Maybe make it 7 wins. I don't know. So it's been, like I said, man, it's been a season. I'm honestly kind of looking at it right now, and I can't believe it, man. 6 wins. That's insane. So yeah, just glad to be here. Glad to be competing, and glad to be able to represent my partners with Mark Harris and Patrick and Odd Company and everyone. So yeah, and thank you for the broadcast too.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little statistic here. So you have the all-time single-season truck wins at 6. You have tied Will LaRue in single seasons throughout the whole entire league. He had 6 wins in the previous Rush season.
Okay, so I need one more win to break it, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gotten over maybe like 3 wins, 4 wins at Premier.
Yeah, 4 wins. I think I had 3 last season. But I think I tied with Coley there. So, yeah, man, what a year.
What a year indeed. Well, congratulations on the 6th win of the season. We'll go ahead and let you go back down there, celebrate with whoever's in that Discord channel, and we'll see you next week trying to get yourself a championship, your second Truck Series championship.
Thank you, Bradley. Thank you.
As that was our race winner tonight in Storm Patterson. And we'll go ahead, and this is actually, I think, the first time this season that I've gotten to pull up the driver number 35. This week, the old Miss machine, he actually just took his truck off the track. Oh, no, it's still there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Oh, Sawyerot!
What's up, Alex? How's it going, man?
I feel like I haven't spoke to you in, since Premiere ended.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of 4th place finishes, so no podiums yet. And, man, I don't know. I guess I'm happy with 2nd, but I really wanted that one. First, I got to say happy birthday to my daughter, Eleanor. I was hoping to get her the win. Came up 1 spot short, but, man, this Ole Miss truck was really fast. We qualified up front. We stayed up front all night, led a bunch of laps, and got some stage points too. So it was a fun Talladega race. We're always competitive here, so we look forward to coming here with a 35 team, and my teammates were strong as well. We worked, I think, really well together, me and Brandon, all race. And then, Storm kind of just, like he's been doing all year, just kind of seemed to come out of nowhere and just took the lead. And it was a drag race there. And, hats off to him. I'm happy for him. He's got 6 wins, incredible season. He should have a pretty good, championship buffer going into Miami next week. So happy for the 45 guys to bring home a championship, hopefully for JCOM. We should lock up the team title. It's been a great season. But, man, I just wanted to get that win. Haven't won since this race last year in trucks at Talladega. So thought we were going to get it done, but just, a little bit short.
How close were you on fuel? And I know Storm said...
Oh, I ran out as soon as we crossed the line.
You were that close.
Yeah. And I realized, everybody did. And so I was the leader, and they just nobody would pass me. And so when they backed up, I just started backing up. I was running 75%. We dropped 10 miles an hour, and I was just like, well, if y'all are going to slow down, I'm going to slow down too. And just tried to save enough, and then they obviously passed me there with 2 to go. And then I think that helped me just get just enough because I was short all the way to the end. And then, I just went for it on the last lap, and maybe I could have dropped to the bottom going into 3, but I really wasn't sure. And I didn't want to spin out and get wrecked. And so I was like, well, if at least I stay on the top, a JCOM truck will win, and that's what happened. But man, I just George gave me a great shove. He really did. But just 14 100ths of a second. So that's it's how it goes sometimes.
That indeed is how it goes sometimes. Ole Miss, they play Mississippi State this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's Egg Bowl 2023. We got hashtag Beat State on the deck or on the tailgate. So hopefully the Rebs can get it done on Saturday, and cap off a pretty good season. Should be 10-2, head to a pretty good bowl game. So, only lost to number 1 in the country, Georgia, and I don't know, number whatever, top 5 or top 10, Alabama. So
I want to say they're like 12th at the time. That's right.
only
I think
one
it's like
loss,
right after when they lost to Texas. It was like a couple weeks after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost to Texas, but that's it. But anyway, yeah, I was I was 2 for 2 with this paint scheme. We won Nashville last year and we won Talladega, so I brought it out just for this race. Like I said, I got the special sticker decals on the bed for my daughter for her birthday, but still pretty good though. First, and second, for this paint scheme, it's not bad.
Still a 66% winning percentage with the scheme, so can't really diss that.
Yeah, we'll save it definitely for next year for probably a Superspeedway, and other than that, man, yeah, it's crazy race, really clean. I want to say that hats off to the field. Like I think there was 1 or 2 wrecks, and everybody raced pretty respectful. There was pushing, but it wasn't super egregious, and so it was fun. I had fun. It was a fun race, and it's crazy. We only got 1 more race left, to cap off a season. It's flown by.
The season has flown by. Before we go ahead and let you go, is there anyone looking to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been on the air all season, but as the ITRL commissioner, I just want to say thanks to everybody that tunes in. Thanks to you, Alex, for broadcasting, and Dylan and all the other admins that help put this on, and all the members, of course, for showing up and putting on some good races. And we've got a lot coming up next year, really. I mean, we might do something. I don't know, Alex, you may be able to talk a little bit more about the rest of the calendar year going into Christmas, but as far as other series. But Premiere and Rush will start off looking like March, April of 2024. Those schedules should be coming out here soon, so be sure to check us out, Facebook, YouTube, Discord, and our website at ironthunderracing.com. And we got some good stuff coming up. All our sponsors, VRX, shout out to them as always. And everybody that tunes in, my team, JCOM Motorsports, Tristan, Brandon, Storm, great job by them. And my family, my wife Maria, daughter Eleanor. Appreciate everybody. Have a good night.
Well, congratulations on your PT finish. It's just 14/100ths of a second from a win. A pretty fast truck tonight. And we'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thanks, sir. Have a good evening. We'll see you next week.
As that was our second place finish tonight in Sawyer. Unfortunately, there's no third place out there tonight, so it's going to be a top 2 interview tonight for us this week. Real quick, let's go ahead and go over your final running order, because everything was very, very interesting coming to the line there. Again, it was Storm Patterson, your race winner, started at second. Ray Rittenauer ends up coming home third. George Balfans comes home 4th, and Adam Boyles finished 5th. 6th goes to Penultimate, 7th goes to Klusterhuis, 8th goes to Hash, 9th goes to Mills, and rounding out your top 10 is Matt Klusterhuis. 11th Mosier, 12th is Cully, 13th is Gale, 14th is Paul Majewska, the first truck 1 lap down. Paul Smith will finish 15th, 16th will go to Dave Masson. 17th will go to Manning Gregory, 18th will go to Brian Wortman, and 19th tonight will go to Tresnott. Matt Cherry, with his issues early on, finishes 20th. Dylan Hill technically did run a lap, came across the start-finish line at some point tonight. He'll finish 21st, and then Matt Quick will get credited with a 22nd place finish tonight, even though he didn't turn any laps. So I didn't know. I did see his name on there, so there is that. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to do it for us tonight. That's the penultimate race. We have 1 more left on the season, and potentially a long off season. I might have some more interesting things we could set up here to run between now and start Premier Rush next year. But one more for sure. One more scheduled race on the calendar for 2023 in the Iron Thunder Racing League. And like Sawyer says, stay tuned to Discord, Facebook, Twitter, the website, to any other potential stuff we have going on. But again, we'll be live next week. Same time. We actually might be live sooner. We might have a pre-race show, depending on what I get done. If I don't have to work next Monday, we might have a pre-race show for you, talking about everything that goes on here coming into Championship Monday night. Again, no points right now to tell you who's currently up or what, but we'll have that for you guys next week. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you live again, same time, maybe sooner, could be later, who knows, from Homestead Miami Speedway. Have a good night.